Okay guys, so today I'm going to be installing something that I highly recommend for anybody running a big heavy plow, especially a V plow. The one I got is about 1,000 pounds, and you can see I've got the mounts all done. Haven't done the wiring yet, but I'm going to get to that. First I'm going to do these bump stops. Now on the dually I used some Timbrins, and they worked out really well. You know, they did what they're supposed to do and really helped the stability of the truck with the plow on and in the raised position. The only thing is they are really expensive, the Timbrins. So I've got something a little less expensive here. These are the SumoSprings, or I guess you can, they call them SumoSprings. I don't know why they got two names, but these are about half price over the Timbrins. And they're just a really big bump stop. And that's all it is. When you raise the plow, it basically sits on these bump stops. Stops the suspension from going down. And it works really good. You know, I had no complaints with the Timbrins. Will these hold up just like the Timbrins? Will they last as long? I don't know. I guess I'll find out and do, you know, I could do a review maybe at the end of the year. But I've heard good things about these, so I decided to go with these. Now this truck does have a leveling kit under it. I believe it's got new keys, so the truck is cranked up a bit. I just kind of quick look under there, and the truck is not riding on the bump stops. It's off the bump stops. Now my dad's factory 04 2500, I think it pretty much rides on the bump stops all the time. So I think that's what a normal 2500, they normally sit on the bump stops, but when you do a leveling kit, kind of raises them up off the bump stop. But these ones here, being how big they are, the truck might sit on them just like the factory did. So I don't know, we'll see. I gotta get them installed. I'm gonna get it on the hoist here, and we're gonna get them installed. Okay, so there's the factory bump stop, and you can see this guy already replaced these, so it's going to be an easy replacement for me. The nut should not be seized up, but most of the time, if your bump stop hasn't rusted out and fallen out, both dads did that. You know, sometimes that nut up there can seize up and give you trouble, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that with the shock in place. Probably going to have to loosen up the shock and kind of move it out of the way. Okay, so once you get your lower shock bolt out and the shock can move a little bit, you can actually come in from the top here, and there is the nut you got to take off for the bump stop, and you can get in here with an impact. Actually, it'll help you out. And to install the nut, it's really hard to get my hand in there, but you kind of got to play with it until you get your nut back on and you can install the new bump stop. Okay, so a little comparison of the two bump stops, and I'm surprised there ain't more difference here. You can see it's a little bigger, but it really ain't that much. It seems like it's got more area than this one. This might be a Z71 bump stop. Though the Z71 bump stops, I believe, are a little bigger. The regular standard bump stop, I don't think is this big. But kind of shocked that there isn't more difference in these springs. I mean, it's a little bigger, but it ain't much. So 15 millimeter takes the original one off. You're going to need an 18 to install the SumoSprings. So there they are installed, shock mount back in place. And I mean, they're almost touching now, looks like. So they're probably definitely going to be touching once I put it on the ground here. So they are bigger than the originals. My plow is going to give them a good workout, so maybe at the end of the year I'll do a review on these and see how they're doing. But like I said, pretty simple here. Pretty simple install. Okay, so I just let the truck off the hoist, and the suspension hasn't even settled yet. And you can see it's definitely on the bump stop right now. And the factory one, or the one I just pulled out, it was not on that bump stop when I looked under this earlier. So I guess I'll take it around the block, take it for a drive. We'll see how it feels, if it feels any different with these bump stops. And then probably end the video there. Okay, so the ride doesn't seem to be much different with the new bump stops. I don't feel any difference anyway. So I guess that's a good thing. I'll have to wait till I get my plow wiring in the truck before I can actually pick the plow up to see what it does there. And you know, I hope it works out. I think it'll work out. But I guess that's going to do it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.